Before I had kids, I thought that packing lunches was going to be so much fun. And then I had 3 kids in 4 years and realized that it's not that fun. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Callie, also known as That Practical Mom, and I am a mom of 3 with my 4th on the way. And I share practical strategies to help you combat the daily chaos of parenthood, and today we're tackling lunchboxes. I have learned some tips, tricks, hacks, and tools to make packing lunches a lot easier, and I'm going to share them with you today. So before we jump into some of the hacks, I want to start first with tools and talk about having some of the right supplies to make packing lunchboxes easier, because not all lunchbox supplies are created equal. First up, what's the right lunchbox? I hate to break it to you, but there's not a blanket answer for this. It really depends on what your needs are, what kind of foods you're packing for your child, what sort of rules and regulations you have. But here are some things to consider. First up is leak proof. You want to find a lunchbox that is going to be leak proof, so you're not worrying about anything leaking outside of the container, and ideally nothing leaking within the divided compartments if you're using something that's a bento style box. Second thing to consider is dishwasher safe. Not all lunchboxes are considered dishwasher safe. For example, a bento box, which is a very tried and true mom loved lunchbox, it's one of our favorite lunchboxes, only the inside container is dishwasher safe. The outside is not. This is something to consider, especially as you get into having multiple kids and having to pack multiple lunchboxes. Are you able to handle a lunchbox that you need to be hand washing all of or some of the compartments every single night? Another thing is to consider size. If you have a child that's more of a snacker, you might want a smaller size lunchbox. If you get something too big, you're going to feel like you need to fill it up, and then you don't have a child eating all of that. If you have a child that eats a full size sandwich every day with sides, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're getting a lunchbox that's big enough for that. And then consider add-on features. My favorite add-on features I have found with lunchboxes, one is if there's adjustable dividers. This really just makes it easy to customize depending on what you are sending that day. Also, if it comes with its own accessories, like leak-proof containers that you can put inside of it, that's really nice. One of my favorite features from one of our top 3 lunchboxes is the Omni lunchbox, which comes with a built-in thermos. I love this because if you want to send a hot lunch, you can put the thermos in, but if you don't want to, it just pops right out and you can pop a sandwich or a bagel or whatever in there. Having the option to be able to send hot lunches, I think, is a game changer. It really opens you up to having a lot more options of what you can send in a lunchbox. So even if you don't do a built-in, like bento style lunchbox, with a thermos, just having a thermos on hand that you can throw into a canvas lunchbox really gives you a lot more versatility on what you can send your kid for lunch. A few other tools that I really love. One is having fruit cutters. So I have a grape cutter and a strawberry cutter. For years, I always thought that these were just sort of like bulky, but then I started having to pack lunches for 3 children, and they are huge time savers. My grape quarter makes it so I can easily chop a bunch of grapes or olives or blueberries and pop them into lunchboxes or snack containers. My strawberry dicer, which you can use for other things like hard-boiled eggs and whatever, allows me to just pop, and it slices these fruits for me, and then I can just pour them into the lunchbox. They really are become tried and true tools for me when it comes to packing lunchboxes or just making kid food in general, and saves me a lot of time. Another thing I love is silicone muffin liners. I keep some of these with my lunchbox stuff, just if I ever need to create any dividers inside of my lunchbox and I'm not necessarily worried about spilling. They're just a great thing to have on hand if you need them in a pinch to create some division inside of lunchboxes. Okay, let's move on to some general hacks that you can use to make packing lunchboxes a little easier. First hack I learned is how to prevent your apples from browning. You're gonna take a bowl of ice cold water and you're going to mix in a little bit of salt. I would say I probably mix in maybe 1/4 teaspoon. You're gonna slice your apples into this water and let them sit for a couple of minutes, and then you can drain off the water. You can even give them a quick rinse if you want to. I haven't found that it makes my apples taste like salt. My children have not complained about the apples tasting, and it prevents browning. I find for well up to 24 hours, so I can cut, slice, put into lunchboxes and know that the apples are not going to turn brown in the lunchbox. Another one is for avocados. I was really excited when I learned this one because I have a son who loves avocados and I never really knew how to send avocado stuff, but lime juice on an avocado will actually prevent browning up to 24 hours as well. So this is a great way to be able to pack an avocado without worrying about it turning gross in the lunchbox. Okay, next up is I will pack multiple days of lunches at a time. When I first started packing lunches, for some reason I was worried to like pre-pack lunchboxes because I thought things would get gross or they would get soggy, but I have found that 90% of stuff that I'm putting into lunchboxes I can pre-pack ahead of time. So each of my kids actually has 2 lunchboxes. We use bento style lunchboxes. This is what's preferred at my kids' school. they tried to go for like a no waste lunch. So they ask for lunches not to be sent like individual pouches or Ziploc bags or anything that's gonna be trash. And on Sunday, I will pack both Monday and Tuesday's lunch boxes. They have pizza day on Wednesday, so then Wednesday night I pack 2 lunches again. Not having to pack a lunchbox every single night or every single morning is such a game changer. Also, when you're packing lunchboxes, you tend to have kind of your stuff out. You already have the fruits that you're going to offer and the veggies that you're going to offer. So instead of having to take it all out and put it all back every single night, you're only doing it maybe twice a week. Another thing that I will often do is when I'm packing Monday and Tuesday's lunches on Sunday, I will get like all the veggies cut up, or I will get all of the fruit cut up right then and there and put it into a Tupperware. That way when I do Thursday and Friday's lunch, I'm just grabbing the stuff and I'm not having to cut and wash and prepare all of the produce again. These go into the fridge and they are good for those 2 days. I've not had any issues. My kids don't complain that things are soggy or weird. They're eating their lunches, and it has been a huge time saver for me to not have to worry about lunches every single night. Next up, I have found there are a lot of things that I can create in bulk and put in the freezer to make lunchtime easier. So I started by making our own Uncrustables. I have this little Uncrustable tool, by the way, which I really love. And I realized that I could freeze these. I could pull them out in the morning to pop into a lunchbox, and that they would be defrosted by lunchtime, which was a game changer. And then I started doing it with other things as well. So I will bulk make pizza rolls, or I will bulk make meatballs for the thermos, or soups, or mac and cheese. And then it becomes really easy for me to just fill up lunch boxes because I'm not having to sort of reinvent the wheel every single time. You can do this with leftovers for dinner as well. If you're creating a dinner that you know is gonna be a good lunchbox option, make a little bit of extra and save it for your lunch boxes. On that note, I have found there's a lot of stuff that I can like bulk make and send cold that maybe I wouldn't have thought that I could send cold. So things like pizza roll-ups, my kids will eat cold. My kids will eat quesadillas cold. So I have found that there's actually quite a few things that I can send leftover in a cold lunchbox that my kids will eat cold that I kind of for a while didn't consider sending because I was like, oh, that's only a hot food. I'll give you a quick rundown of the 3 lunchboxes that we use. We have a Bent Go lunchboxes, we have Omni lunchboxes, and this year we are testing out the B box lunches, I think is what they're called. Omni lunchbox I love because they are leak proof within the dividers. You have some spill-proof containers that you can use as well. And then there are adjustable dividers that you can use. The built-in thermos I love because it allows me the versatility of hot lunch versus cold lunch. And I find the size is really great as you get up to kids that have a slightly larger appetite. It is not considered dishwasher safe, so you do have to hand wash it, which is a bummer, but I find it fairly easy to wash. Next up is our Bent Go lunchbox. I do love this. It's on the slightly smaller side. As you get kids more into school age, they may need something a little bigger or a snack along with it. It holds like a half of a sandwich, not a whole sandwich, but I love it, especially for that like toddler to pre-K kindergarten age, because you can add a variety. It's a little bit more of like a snacking type option. It is extremely durable, super leak proof. I've never had anything leak with inside the dividers. Only the inside compartment is dishwasher safe. You still have to hand wash that outside compartment, and I do find that kind of hard to wash. Like inside the cracks and crevices, and the rubber seal is a little bit tricky to wash. I will just say that. It is my one problem with this lunchbox now that I have multiple children and I'm hand washing all of the outside covers. The B-Box is the one that we've just started using this year, and the big reason that I have picked this one is one, the whole thing is dishwasher friendly, which we don't have one lunchbox currently in our collection where everything is dishwasher friendly. So I'm excited to try this out and sort of see what I like versus don't like compared to the other lunchboxes that we're using. The other thing that I think is pretty cool about it is it comes in multiple sizes depending on your child's appetite. The dividers are adjustable, which is really, really nice, and it actually has this unique design where you can fit a full size fruit, because part of the top is like a rubber top, which allows you to put like a whole orange or a whole apple inside of here, which I think is sort of a unique feature. All right, my friends, that does it. Some of my favorite lunchbox hacks for packing your lunchboxes a little bit easier, save you some time, save you some stress. We don't gotta be spending 30 minutes every night packing up lunchboxes, you know what I say? If you have any additional lunchbox hacks that you have found that really, really work great, let us know in the comments down below. Let's let this be a place where we can just learn all of the hacks to make packing our lunchboxes a little bit easier for our kids. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you all in my next video.